Good evening, everyone. Wekiva High School welcomes you to Mustang Arena for Game 1 of the 2024 Men's Basketball Preseason Classic. Please welcome our guests wearing the black uniforms, visitors on the scoreboard from Jones High School. They are the Tigers. And wearing the white uniforms, home on the scoreboard from Apopka High School. Please welcome the Blue Darters. Let's meet the teams. We'll begin with our guests from Jones, and we will start with number 0, K. Holmes. Number 2, T. Mack. Number 10, Jay Quinn. Number 23, C. Thompson. And number 22, E. Stratton. And the Tigers coached by Coach Akins. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for the Apopka Blue Darters. Starting at wing, 6'2" senior, number 2, Chai Bowden. At point guard, 5'10" junior, number 3, Trenton Jean. At forward, 6'5" senior, number 4, Jude Angerville. At forward and center, 6'6" senior, number 5, Larson Taylor. And finally for the Blue Darters, at guard, 6'3" senior, number 23, Jermichael Johnson. The head coach of the Blue Darters, Scott Williams, with the assistant coaches John Sears, Derek Miley, Majah Jackson, Malik Jackson, and LJ Norwood. The officials for tonight's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. We thank them for their dedicated service to our high school athletic programs and join them with our participating schools, reminding everyone to make great sportsmanship a part of this and every athletic competition. Tonight's game is being live streamed on YouTube and the NFHS network. If you have friends or family who are not able to join us in person for tonight's game, and you would like to send them a link, just send them to our YouTube channel. We are at Wekiva Sports, or you can also pull us up on NFHSnetwork.com on your favorite computer, smart TV, or mobile device. And for those of you who have done just that, we want to welcome you to Mustang Arena. My name is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs and sports information director here at Wekiva, joined by Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, and we'll be taking you through tonight's game.
As always, Mark, a great job with the introductions. The first time this season, the 2024-25 season is underway. Apopka in the white with the first possession. That's Jude Angerville, no dice. And our first exchange. Jones will take over from here. Both these teams come in looking... Maybe the redemption is too strong a word, but certainly trying to improve on.
And we're going to pick up our first foul. Foul called against Darters, number 4, Jude Angerville, his first, team's first. Tigers will get the ball at the sideline. Down the baseline to the corner. Corner shot by Mack, not there. Back around to Autumn. He spins around, has some room. That should have gone in. And the Darters will take one anyway they can get it. Jai Bowden on the rebound. Now we go the other way. Fast break, not there. Jude Angerville draws the foul on the way up. He'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called against number 22, Thompson, his first, team's first. Angerville shooting two.
Okay, so once again, welcome to Mustang Arena, the first of 4 games making up the Wekiva Mustangs preseason tip-off. And we're preseason mode ourselves, trying to work out some kinks ourselves. But I think we got everything situated. At the free throw line is Jude Angerville. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And Apopka with the 1-0 lead. Apopka in the white jerseys, of course, Wekiva's crosstown rival, just 5 miles up the road on the northeast side. Down through the lane, Jones trying to take the lead now. That's Holmes, extended right, he hands it off to Thompson. Long shot, no dice, kicks off the heel. Scramble underneath and a whistle.
Touched the backboard support, and that's out of bounds. Darters ball.
So Apopka will take over after the ball goes out of bounds for all intents and purposes over the backboard. 1-0 Apopka with the lead. We're not even 2 minutes into this first game of the 2024-25 season. The annual Wekiva Mustangs tip-off tournament as the drive. Trent Jean lowering the shoulder and then going to the air, getting hacked.
Foul called against Tigers, number 2, Mack, his first, team second. At the line, shooting 2, Trent Jean.
So your starting lineup for Apopka, Bowden, Trent, Angerville, Davis, and Johnson. All 5 of them are returners from last season. As I started to say as we got underway, perhaps not the worst records. 12-16 for Jones, or 12-14 for Jones, 15-12 for Apopka, as 1 of 2 is good to steal, and the floating deuce by Angerville.
Michael Johnson steals 2 for the Darters.
So the turnover cost Jones. They're down 4-0, and now a second consecutive turnover. So again, the records last season, Jones 12-14, Wekiva 15-12. Both of them did make the playoffs with those records, but in comparison to other seasons, a little bit below their standards, what they're used to. Both teams looking to up that win total. That's Angerville.
3 for Jude Angerville.
And a 7-0 lead for Apopka as they continue that full court defense. It's paid its dividends. Another turnover, that's the 4th. Only 3.5 minutes into this game, actually 2.5 minutes into the game. Bowden brings that ball up, hands off to Jean. Now he has trouble holding on to it. Scramble, Apopka picks it up over into the corner with Johnson, and he drains the ring.
3 for Michael Johnson. Timeout.
And Coach Jones has seen enough.
Timeout Tigers, their first timeout.
10-0 your score. Apopka has come out on fire, getting the turnovers and draining a couple of trays, the traits of Scott Williams' coach teams. We'll be back after this. So we're back to live action. Coach Akins has seen enough, giving up 10 straight points.
Put back by Jai Bowden.
Apopka scoring 10 straight points to start this over. 4 turnovers, but it looks like the timeout didn't do any good, as you just heard Mark Barchi, who's also our public address announcer, say.
Backcourt violation. Darters ball.
the turnover, the 5th of the quarter, and then the easy deuce for Angerville. And now the lead up 12-0. And then, of course, just now, the 6th turnover. So Coach Akins needs to come up with something to stem the tide early in this first game of the 2024 Wekiva Mustangs preseason tip-off. And now
Trent Jean, that was Jones checked in when I wasn't looking. That was Jones. Jones for Jones that had that.
4:34, first quarter. Apopka surged into a 12-0 lead against Jones. And there's another turnover. Apopka's been running them crazy and ragged with those turnovers. The
Jude Angerville steals 2.
So 14-0 lead for Apopka as we get a whistle at the other end.
Foul is called against number 2, Jai Bowden. That's his first personal foul, the team's 3rd.
Angerville with 6 points for Apopka. Inbound. Thompson brings it up, 1-on-1 against Bowden. Back out into the corner. The tray, no dice, and crashing those boards hard again. Angerville coming up with the rebound, showing his defensive prowess to go along with his 6 points on offense. 3:44 remaining. The drop back off the rim by Bowden. Strong rebound by the Jones defense. That's Holmes ripping it down. Apopka hasn't missed many in this quarter. Of course, when you're getting 7 turnovers, that does lower the odds of missing.
Fading shot from Autumn, not there. Board by Bing, and now the Tigers get another crack at it. Still looking to get on the board, and they finally do. That's Thompson putting Jones on the board.
14-2, 3:15 first quarter. Apopka back to work here at Mustang Arena. Jean, no dice, clanks off that reel. Though doing Windex work is Taylor, snagging the rebound.
Larson Taylor is fouled on the putback attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Darters. The foul is called against number 23, Autumn. That's his first, the team's 3rd.
So the 5th and 6th free throw already, just a little bit past halfway in the first quarter for Apopka. Larson Taylor, the 6'5" senior center. His first free throw, no dice, clanks off that rim, off the heel. So, of course, after this game, approximately 20 minutes, Wekiva, the host school, will be taking on East River. And then they reverse the teams on Thursday night. It'll be Apopka taking on East River and Jones taking on Wekiva. 1 of 2 at the free throw, so that's been the pattern for all 3 trips to the free throw line. On Apopka's side, Apopka remaining in that full court, man-to-man. Wouldn't expect anything different from a Scott Williams coach team. Of course, Jones this time brings it up, trying to overcome the 7 turnovers. Thompson, 1-on-1. Into the corner on the wing, the long tray. Score it!
3 for Holmes.
Cuts the lead to 15-5. Apopka back in the lead. Kick out to Bowden. Clanks off the rim, out of bounds. It'll remain with Apopka.
I think that was last touch by Horn.
Matthew Murray, the 6'5" junior center, number 33. He's in for Apopka now as well. And so is Raphael Bedencourt. He'll inbound it. Bedencourt, 5'11" junior guard. He gets it in. And Apopka goes back to work. Bedencourt setting the offense now. 1-on-1. Top of the key, looking for a pick. They rotated up to that top. 2:25 remaining. 15-5 lead for Apopka with possession. Looking for a get inside. Jones so far doing good on their 2-3 zone. On this possession, Apopka unable to penetrate. Have the 10-point lead though. Some more room. Don't have to take as many shots. They've come out looking good so far. Gene loses it, picks it up, and makes the withdrawal from the bank. Excuse me, that was
Jai
Bowden.
Bowden.
So Apopka, they've gotten a lot of points off turnovers. There they show they can do the patience as well. And down in the left wing is Holmes, barely touches the rim and bounces out of bounds. So Jones again not only having trouble keeping possession, but they are off target tonight, and Apopka with an opportunity to get that lead up to 12, 14 points or even 15 with a tray. They go back to work, trying to penetrate, the 2-3 zone collapsing, and Bowden will reset the offense. Hands it off to Bedencourt now. Over to Murray, down low. The reverse, fake reverse, and
Traveling,
Taylor.
Tigers ball.
So Jones forcing a turnover. Seen it the other way for most
Into
of
the game
tonight.
for Apopka, Alex Condon. And for Jones, Francis.
1:18 remaining in this first quarter. Apopka scored the first 12 points. That's the difference right now. And there you see it. They've made life difficult for Jones getting that ball through the backcourt.
Stolen by Betancourt.
And now the turnover in the front court. Betancourt trying to go coast to coast. And Jones collapses. They will keep possession. Apopka, that is. So Jones doing a nice job of not allowing Betancourt to get a comfortable layup, but unable to get the turnover they much need right now. Just under 1 minute, 59 seconds remaining. Again, the 12-0 start to this game, the difference for Apopka as they go back to work. Murray pops out, top of the key. That's Farrer. Over to Cogden. He can't find the range, but a whistle.
And a foul on the rebound.
And it'll actually be against Apopka. So
Darter's foul is called against Matthew Murray. That's his first, team's fourth.
So Apopka cooling off somewhat in the latter stages of this first quarter. At one point they were shooting over 70%. Down to the rim. Attack is the Holmes, and he takes a whack midair. And he'll go to the line.
Foul is called against Darter's number 33, Matthew Murray. That's his second, the team's fifth. At the line shooting two, Holmes. So just as a reminder, this is the second year that we've been under these NBA-style rules. It's double bonus on the fifth foul of the quarter rather than on the seventh for single bonus and 10th for double bonus foul of the half, which is the way it used to be. That would be more like NCAA women's rules. So again, 5 fouls in a quarter. In case it makes any difference for the next 35 seconds.
Into the corner. And stroke the tray.
3 for Noah Farrer.
20-6 lead now. 15 seconds remaining. And the interception tipped by Cogden. Nice job getting in the middle, picked up by Bedencourt. They return the favor, though.
The transition attempt is high risk, high reward, and the risk won out that time. At the buzzer, short. And that takes us to the end of the first quarter. A 20-6 lead for the Blue Darters here in the opening 8 minutes of Game 1 here at the 2024 Wekiva Men's Basketball Preseason Classic.
And back to live action, about to start the second quarter. This is the 2024 Wekiva Mustangs Tip-Off Classic. Game 1, 2 will be played tonight. Apopka in the white jerseys, scoring the first 12 points, 5 turnovers by Jones, assisting those 12 points. They've now extended that lead to 14, 20-6. And again, if you were listening through that first quarter, I know I keep talking about the turnovers, but that is the story of the game right now. And there you see why is now an 8, another turnover, 10 in this first half. So Apopka takes possession, looking to up that 14-point lead. The up and over move, the long pass into the corner, rims in and out. One attempt. Windex work by Apopka. A couple of nice, strong rebounds to start this second quarter. And they'll go back to work. Jones yet to touch the ball.
Yeah, Scott Williams has got to like that a lot. Even though we haven't seen any production out of it yet, just the sheer hustle and the number of offensive rebounds that they've gotten. At this point in preseason, the points don't matter anyway. You just got to love what you're seeing there on offense.
Yeah, and of course, you look at the score again. It's a 14-point lead. So some
3 for Holmes to open up second quarter scoring. 7 points for him out of the team's 9. So I think we can see where the offensive threat is on the Tigers' offense so far. Now Gene trying to get the ball up to the end line. Rotation. Gene again, directing traffic. And now a little bit of opening, and there it is. That's 3 for Trent Gene from Jermichael Johnson.
So not only does Apopka continue to force the turnovers, but they're shooting well. They went into a slight drop.
So showing patience there, waiting for that opportunity, and Gene had just an extra 2 feet in front of him that weren't guarded, and he took the opportunity to drain the tray. We'll pause here for a substitution.
Yeah, Apopka's percentage did
Craig
drop.
coming in now for Jones.
Apopka's percentage did drop somewhat during the last 3 or 4 minutes of the first quarter.
Corner off the heel, that's not there. Rebound goes to Horn. And you can just see how much more aggressively Apopka is guarding the Tigers and getting into that box out formation on defense. They get the rebound again here. And Neil, I'm not keeping stats for this game. They wouldn't officially count anyway, even if we did. But I think the eye test just tells you, both on offense and on defense, Apopka crashing the boards in a big way. And that really is probably, that and turnovers, the number 1 and number 2 contributing factors to this 14-point deficit that we're seeing.
Yeah, and again, I've been mentioning that throughout the game. Now 16 or 10 minutes in. And, you know, again, if you've been listening throughout this game, I know I've said it before, I keep bringing it up, but it really is the story, is the turnovers.
Pass break opportunity again, and sharing the love. That's Jai Bowden to Jude Angerville. Block is called against Jermichael Johnson. That's his first personal foul, the team's first this quarter. And you heard Scott Williams, if you were listening to the background noise there, cheering him on. That's what I would call an honorable foul. That's a 50-50 call. Some days you're the pigeon, some days you're the statue when you make that move, but it's worth trying, and it was well executed.
5 minutes remaining, 25-9 lead for Apopka. They got off to a 12-0 start, no dice. Skying for the rebound is Bowden. Back at the other end, Apopka goes to work, and they will keep possession, looking to up that 16-point lead. So once again, the story is turnovers and a 12-0 lead on 5 turnovers, or I should say facilitated by 5 turnovers. Strong
3 for Jude Angerville. 11 points for him in the books tonight. He's got Jones by 2 all by himself. Angerville gets a little piece of that one, not enough to take over. To the corner, there it is. 3 for Horn from Autumn. That's his first points of the game, 12-28 now. Darter still in command of this ball game with 16-point advantage as we approach the halfway point, and now a rare mistake as Gene loses his dribble in the key. Now Tigers trying to make something happen on the fast break, and we've got some contact. Craig draws the foul on the way up. He'll go to the line and shoot two for the Tigers. The Darters foul is called against number 10, Ian Quintine. That's his first, team's third. Craig at the line. First bounces out. Returning to the game for the Darters, Rafi Betancourt.
So no dice on the free throw. And another strong rebound from Angerville. As Apopka go back to work with a 28-12 lead.
Spin move, contact, no. It's going to be traveling Tigers ball. 30-second timeout requested by Apopka. Back with more from Mustang Arena right after the break. .28-12 lead for the Apopka Blue Darters. They're in the white jerseys, the home team in this first of 4 games, making up the 2024 Wekiva Mustangs Preseason Classic. A 12-0 lead facilitated by 5 turnovers, now in double digits. And they've just extended that lead now at the 28-12. And now Jones will go to work, looking to cut into that lead. Tough dribble, broken up by Betancourt, taken over by Angerville. Now he's in trouble, recovers, but no. Double dribble violation, Tigers ball. Angerville didn't see it that way, but still a good move by him. He just ran into traffic before he could control his dribble. Again, that's one of those risk-reward situations. Apopka clearly running an up-tempo offense here, trying to get things down the court before the Tigers can react. It has been mostly successful for them. However, when you run the game that fast, you do have a slightly higher chance of making those small ticky-tack mistakes. So it cost them on that possession. But Tigers unable to convert. They do on this try, though. 3 for Craig. That closes it to a 13-point gap, 28-15. Darters still in control. And now we're going to get a foolish foul here on Craig. Craig is called with a hand check. That's his first personal foul. It's Heem's first of this quarter. Jai Bowden and Noah Ferrer back into the game for Apopka.
So mentioned in the first quarter, both these teams did make the FHSAA playoffs last season, but the records were perhaps in comparison to previous years as the launch.
Wide open, can't convert. Good effort there by Bowden, but the rebound goes to Horn.
Horn with the rebound, but those records in comparison to previous seasons, below expectations, 12 and 15, 12 and 14 for Jones, 15 and 12 for Apopka, so certainly that's one way they're going to measure Coach Aiken's squad. Have some work to do tonight and the rest of the season, as we've seen.
Trey off the backboard, up for grabs on the rebound, and wide open. Craig down the lane for the layup. And usually Apopka doesn't make it that easy, but I don't think they were expecting the rebound to go that way. Also, Neil, as I was refreshing the roster from last year to this year, I noticed Apopka only lost 3 seniors to graduation.
Returners. 8 returners, including all 5 starters. And that was one of the things that Coach Williams did mention. In general, he said he's very excited but he's excited particularly about the fact that they got 5 starters returning. All 5 starters are returners and 8 in total, as the launch from Bing rattles off. Strong rebound. Windex work for Jones again, and no reset with just over 2 minutes remaining, down by 11. Chance to cut that double-digit lead down to single digits, and this is the closest Jones has been since Apopka rattled off the 12 points to start this game. Now under 2 minutes, and now they're being patient. Haven't seen a lot of patience out of Jones during this first half. Baseline move against Cogden, and possession will remain with
Jude Angerel returns to the game for the Darters. Something else you'll see that is a signature of any Scott Williams team is the rotation. Scott Williams rotates his players early and often. One of the things he goes through in practice is how they can work with any combo out there. And you're going to see it really discombobulates a team, particularly if you're playing man defense.
It's not unusual for Apopka to go at least 10 men deep, and there you see why. That was a conditioning turnover. They return the favor, though. Now Jones, chance again, cut the lead to single digits. They won't do it. No dice.
Noah Ferreira using his height there to pull the ball in. Swing action to the paint, and there it is. Jai Bowden from the key. 6 points for him tonight out of the team's 30. 75 seconds to go here in the first half. Jai Bowden ready to go coast to coast. He takes it himself, and it's short. That's going to go to Horn. Now fast break action from Jones, and it falls. That's going to be Craig on the layup for the Tigers in transition. 7 points for him. So Jones proving that they can do the fast break transition as well.
Yeah, Jones hasn't really had a problem in general showing the fast break transition. They've been up and down the court with the Apopka. The problem's been holding on to the ball.
Yeah, Apopka certainly demonstrating more finesse on the control side tonight, and now we're going to get some contact here at midcourt. Foul is called against Tigers. Number 1, Craig. That's his second personal foul, the team's second of this quarter. Larson Taylor back into the game for the Darters.
So with 31.8 seconds remaining, as we've told you throughout this first half, the story is really turnovers. Jones up to 15 already, maybe even 16. And they have settled down the last 3-4 minutes, but the question now, as we head into the second half, is too little too late, as Jones will have an opportunity to cut the lead again back down to single digits.
Hold called against Larson Taylor. That's his first. Team's fourth of this quarter.
So again, quick reminder, stick around. Game number 2, about 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one. As there's
Stolen
another
again.
turnover. And the slam.
Jude Angerel with a slam dunk.
So gotta tell you, Mark, of course, we got a chance to see Angerville about 5 times last year. He certainly looks a lot better. He was one of the stars, standouts for Apopka last season, but he looks like he's improved his game. He'll go double digits at the halftime in the 32-19 lead for Apopka. 18 turnovers for Jones.
That takes us to halftime. 32-19 your score at intermission here in Game 1 of the 2024 Wekiva Men's Basketball Preseason Classic.
Mustang Arena about to start the second half. Mustang Arena, the site. This is the first of 4 games, the 2024 Wekiva Mustangs men's basketball preseason tip-off classic. And Apopka, the intercity rival of Wekiva, just 5 miles separating the school with a commanding 32-19 lead. A fairly comfortable first half. They jumped out to the 12-0 lead, get possession to start the second half. 5 turnovers during that 12-0 rampage, and they have further extended the lead all the way up to 13 now, as many as 17 in the first half. And they go back to work, and not the result that Coach Williams wanted to see out of the half. We'll see what Coach Akins, if he could come up with some magic for Jones to start making some progress towards cutting into that lead. They were able to get it down to single digits with about 2 minutes remaining, and there's exactly what you saw. Same story, the turnover, and Apopka went back up to 13, and now they'll go to the free throw line.
Foul is called against Tigers, number 0, Holmes. That's his first personal foul, the team's first of this quarter. That was not a shooting foul. Darters ball at the baseline.
So, excuse me. Possession does remain with Apopka after the turnover. And they'll go back to work. Angerville, your leading scorer with 13, leading 6 Blue Darters. That's Apopka, Blue Darters in the white. Tip, they come up with the ball though, that's Bowden. Goes down low, swing, and making the withdrawal.
Larson Taylor for the first points of the second half.
So the beautiful pass down low and a 15-point lead for Apopka. Angerville continues to dominate. Again, leading scorer with 13, but he's also the leading rebounder. And just as quickly, the errant throw. So Apopka with some room to maneuver that 15-point lead. They could have matched their largest of the game, though, at 17. So we'll see what Jones does as they break that full court man-to-man. And the scoop shot, floating deuce, score it.
Autumn in transition for 2.
Lead down to 13 points now for Jones. So minute 15, minute 20 into the second half. We're exactly where we started. Points-wise, margin-wise, no dice. Rims off and out of bounds. Possession will remain with the Apopka.
This is going to be Jones' ball.
Oh, excuse me, it is Jones' ball. So a chance to cut that lead down to 11, perhaps even 10. Again, 12-point lead starting the game for Apopka. 5 turnovers facilitating those 12 points. As Apopka shot around 80%, and that's been the difference throughout the first half and roughly 2 minutes into the second half.
Hold is called against Darters. Number 3, Trenton Jean is second, the team's first of this quarter. 30-second timeout requested by Apopka.
So we went in 13 points at halftime, remains 13 points. Apopka not off to the greatest start, but again, with a 13-point lead, they have some room to make a few mistakes. We'll be back on the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network. Home of the Wekiva Mustangs. They will be playing in the second game against the East River Falcons. In the meantime, it's the Apopka Blue Darters and the Jones Tigers. Apopka with the 34-21 lead. They've enjoyed that lead throughout this game. Almost 18 minutes in now. This is Jones at the free throw line and Thompson shooting. Only 4 free throws attempted. This will be the 4th for Jones throughout this game. And the lead now down to 12. So Jones now with 19 turnovers. And we still got a quarter and a half to go. Actually a little bit more than a quarter and a half. And now Apopka with the turnover.
Team control foul is called against number 5, Larson Taylor. His second personal foul, the team's second of this quarter.
So I'm Neil Fisher. The other voice you hear is Mark Barchi, not only my on-air partner, but the public address announcer here on the campus of Wekiva High School. One-on-one, Thompson, the switch on defense, and it pays dividends as it has now 20 turnovers for Jones. Back to work, Apopka goes with the 12-point lead. And just as quickly, a whistle.
Foul's called against Coleman on the hold. That's his first, the team's second of the quarter.
So Apopka will inbound the ball. Both teams with 2 fouls now. 6 minutes, just under 6 minutes. Jean, one-on-one on the left wing right wing.
Push is called against Coleman. That's his second personal foul, now the team's third. So back-to-back.
2 quick fouls from Coleman.
Should be noted that we are getting ready to launch season 18 of Wekiva basketball. Neil and I have been here since season 1. And there's a nice bucket off the inbound. That is Trent Jean to Jermichael Johnson.
Jean making the withdrawal from the bank, lead up to 14, long pass from Jones, and at the other end, the quick outlet.
Thompson is fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Tigers. The foul is called against Darters number 4, Jude Angerville. That's his second, the team's third. So Wekiva entering its 18th year. These 2 schools have been around for much longer. In fact, these are 2 of the oldest schools in Orange County. Jones, actually, 1895 is the start of their program. Now, I can't tell you how many seasons they've been playing basketball, but I know the school has been around since 1895, which is as much as any high school continuously in Orange County. Apopka not far behind them, 1931, that school established. So they are coming up on 100 years here in the next decade, and there we're going to get 1 of 2 at the line.
That's only the 5th and 6th free throws attempted by Jones in this game. Does get the lead back down to 13 points. And down low, we got a lot of contact. Pass going down to Taylor, the 6'5" senior center.
Hold is called against Thompson. That's his second personal foul, the team's 4th of this quarter.
5:26 remaining, third quarter. Apopka scoring the first 12 points of the game. They came out fast and furious on the defensive end, forcing 5 turnovers.
Jones is in for Jones
to facilitate those 12 points. And the turnover has just continued for Jones. They have not been able to really solve that part of their game, and it's been the biggest reason they're down.
Jean's tray clicks off. Jones with the rebound. Jones the player, not just Jones the team.
So now Jones, as you mentioned, will draw the foul.
Darter's foul is called against number 2, Jai Bowden. That's his 3rd personal foul, the team's 4th of this quarter.
Both teams with 4 fouls as well, so both teams will be shooting bonus the rest of the period. This is the second season that the foul rule is now 5 per quarter, and you get a bonus. It used to be per half. 7, down low, beautiful passing in and out, down to the corner, no dice from Autumn. The rebound, though, a second attempt at a tray, and Jones still unable to find the range. Long outlet to Ferrer, back up to around the top of the key, on the right side. The drive, no dice, off the rim, trying to go bank, and now we're getting some up and down action from both these teams. Pace certainly has picked up as we go 4.5 into the second quarter. And now Jones will step back, reset his offense. 1-on-1 against Angerville. He's been the standout so far, double-digit scoring as well as rebounds. Left wing extended, the step up, no dice. Battle underneath, out of bounds, and possession will remain with Jones.
Checking into the game for Apopka, Alex Condon.
So inbound, the spin, rejected. Angerville just mentioned he's been a standout both ends. And now a sweet pass to Johnson.
Michael Johnson on the dunk.
So up and down the court, we've seen Apopka do that with the turnover. This time it was the rebound. Back to the turnover.
Now Johnson again gets it to Ferrer. Open court opportunity, and there it is.
+1.
Jude Angerville with a basket and a chance to make it a three-point play.
So 2 possessions ago, it was Angerville to Johnson. This time they reverse it, Johnson to Angerville. And the Apopka faithful, about 120 of them in attendance, rise to salute the duo.
Jones is called with his first personal foul.
And a 40-23 lead now for Apopka, matching their largest of the game. Of course, if this free throw goes from Angerville, it will be his 16th point and the largest lead for Apopka, and it does. Iron Kind, 41-23 with 3:54 remaining.
Checking into the game for Apopka, Matthew Murray.
So Apopka 15-12 last year, Jones 12-14. This is the first game of the season. It's the preseason classic, the Wekiva Mustangs preseason classic. Has a little bit of trouble picking up the ball, but it is a turnover. Ferrar, they rotated top of the key, the slash and dash drive out to Ferrar. Open shot, slides off the rim. Windex work from Holmes. Back the other way, and somebody got a hand in there, but there was also contact. 3:27 remaining, third quarter.
Hold is called against Rafael Betancourt. That's his first personal foul, the team's 5th. At the line, shooting 2 for the Tigers, number 0, Holmes.
So the pace certainly picking up over the last couple of minutes. It was a fairly fast pace in the first half, and now it's been picked up a couple more levels, I'd say, as Holmes unable to drop that free throw. And of course, Mark and I, the in-house team, broadcasting team for the Wekiva Mustangs. So we don't get to see Jones on a regular basis, but we have gotten to see him 3 or 4 times over the, I'd probably say the last 4 or 5 years. And free throw shooting has been a weakness of theirs. And that's continued tonight. They're shooting 50%. And they've only gotten 8 free throws. Of course, at one point it was 8-0 in favor of Apopka at the free throw line in terms of attempt.
And there's just a communication failure. Congdon looking for somebody that just wasn't there.
So Apopka maintains that 17-point lead. Jones did get down to 9 a couple of times, but Apopka re-extending it to 18 just a couple minutes ago on the turnover slam +1. And Jones is going to have to regroup emotionally as well as the tangible of the deficit. 2:45 remaining, and there's another turnover. Ferrar stepping in front. Nice anticipation, and now Apopka goes back to work as Betancourt crosses midcourt, sets his offense. 2.5 remaining, third quarter. Apopka's 17-point lead. They could go their largest if they get a deuce here.
Should also be noted that all 4 of the teams participating in the preseason classic will also be featured Thanksgiving week at the Metro versus Florida Challenge. That's an event Scott Williams started here at Wekiva as we get a basket by Jermichael Johnson. That is an event that Scott Williams started here at Wekiva some 15 and change years ago. Took it with him when he went to Apopka, and now Wekiva and Apopka both feature in that event every year. Jones and East River will feature in it as well. We'll see Jones take on Orlando Christian Prep at Lake Highland Prep as we get a 3 from Mack.
Yeah, that game, Jones versus OCP, 11
Boy,
November 26th.
that's a tough draw for the Tigers. OCP, they're a small school, but they are not to be trifled with.
Of course, they are. I'd probably say if you have to select one school as the powerhouse in the state of Florida, it would be OCP. I believe they're up to 13 state championships.
Matthew Murray is called on the foul. That's his 3rd personal bonus situation.
Of course, OCP winning all those state championships since 2001. Again, don't know exactly how many because we
Stratton will be at the line shooting bonus.
We don't cover OCP regularly, but I do believe it is 13 now.
Yeah, you don't
I know
have
it's
to.
double digits.
You don't have to follow OCP everywhere they go to know that they're in the playoffs every year. They're in the state tournament just about every year.
Yeah, it's not just making the tournament, but
and they're not just good for a small school. They're good for any school.
Entire, so yeah, and again, these if you had to choose one team that is a state powerhouse,
certainly
it is OCP with those 13. But I was going to also say, Mark, if they don't win the state championship, they lost in the final.
Yeah, certainly among the traditional programs, excluding like sports academies and such.
So also looking ahead at Jones, they will then play Bartow on the 27th and the 29th. So they're going to be Bartow, that's part of the Metro versus Florida Challenge, 2 games for them. And then they will be playing on the 29th against Winter Haven.
3 for Alex Cotton.
The 29th against Winter Haven and the 30th against the First Academy. So Jones and then Windermere on the 4th. That's just a regular season game, no tournament attachment. But to your point, Mark, they're certainly getting tested early and often. Plenty of opportunity to measure themselves.
Push is called against number 3, Trent Jean. That's his third. Bonus situation continues. Mack at the line, shooting 2 for the Tigers.
So the 46-28 lead for Apopka, second largest. While we were talking and that tray went in for Apopka, that did give them a 19-point lead, which was the largest of the game. That was about 45 seconds ago. 1:05 now remaining in the third quarter. And mention this again, one of the weaknesses that we've seen with Jones is their free throw shooting. Again, we get to cover them, call their games 3 or 4 times a year. And I don't recall calling any of those games over the last 4 or 5 years where they shot over 50%.
Now, one thing I do want to clarify,
Jones at the free throw line.
We said Jones was going to play OCP on the first day of the Metro versus Florida Challenge. That is the day that the games are not at Apopka. So even though this is Scott Williams' brainchild and Apopka is the host of the overall event, that is something that they added the year after Earl Graham passed away during the COVID crisis.
As we get a whistle.
Lake Highland Prep is the other school where Earl Graham really made a big impact. And so one day of the Metro versus Florida Challenge is now hosted at Lake Highland Prep. It is the first day. So Tuesday, November 26th, all those games at Lake Highland Prep, and Jones will play OCP at 3:30.
Splash from the left wing.
3 for the Tigers.
So looking at Apopka, the other side, they will play Winter Park on the 20th. That's not part of the Metro versus Florida Challenge. They will then take on Lake Brantley in the Metro versus Florida Challenge on the 22nd. Excuse me, they'll play Lake Brantley. That's also not part of the Metro versus Florida Challenge. So they'll play Winter Park and Lake Brantley on the road before the Metro versus Florida Challenge. Then they play Seminole on the 27th. So see if Jones can close out this third quarter strong, a 14-point deficit. Looking a lot better than 19, which we saw about a minute and a half ago. Got to move quickly, though. There's the buzzer with 1 second, and splash from Gracie.
As Stratton from downtown at the buzzer, and that closes it to an 11-point ball game. 46-35, Darter's still on top, but the Tigers making a comeback effort here as we get into the last 8 minutes of basketball action here in Game 1 of the 2024 Wekiva Men's Basketball Preseason Classic. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, ready to take you through these last 8 minutes. Now, Neil, this is the preseason classic, so as they say on Whose Line Is It Anyway, it's the game where everything is made up and the points don't matter. However, that's not to say that this doesn't count for something, because this certainly gives these coaches an early test of where their teams stand against some tough competition, as we're going to start with a foul here. Foul called against number 23. That's Jermichael Johnson's second personal foul, the first of the quarter.
Yeah, and certainly an opportunity to look at what specifically both teams need to work on and what they can build on as well. And if you've been with us throughout this game, you know, turnovers has been the story of this game. 5 during the first three and a half minutes. Apopka using 5 Jones turnovers to build a 12-0 lead, and now it's an 11-point lead. Make that 9.
Stratton through traffic for 2.
Using the bank, making the withdrawal.
5 seconds closely guarded. Tigers ball.
And for the third time since Apopka opened up with a 12-0 lead down to single digits, Jones unable to make any more progress the previous 2 times. So again, the question is there progress now too little, too late? Every time that Apopka's had that lead cut down, they've come up with a couple of turnovers and re-extended it to a comfortable margin in the mid-teens. And now Jones showing some patience as they rotate it.
Yeah, Autumn nearly lost his dribble there, but was able to get it under control with some help from Holmes. Now he goes down the baseline and is stuffed by Angerville. That's right. Open court.
In a while.
And that's number 23, Jermichael Johnson on the transition basket.
So the Angerville-Johnson show continues to roll on. And as I said, see if we get that tray. No. Bounces off the rim, and right place, right time is Betancourt. He swallows up that rebound. And again, that's the 3rd consecutive time when the lead has been cut down to 9 points by Jones. Apopka's come up with a turnover and a juice at the other end. And now they got a chance to build on that play. Score 4 in a row. They won't go.
Backcourt violation. Tigers ball.
So a little bump there, and Reed loses control of the ball. So this time, at least for the time being, Jones is not going to allow Apopka to score 2 or 3 consecutive baskets like they did the previous 2 times. The lead got down to 9. Up to 11 now. Jones trying to maneuver through that man-to-man defense out in the left corner. Splash!
3!
Mack. And that's Mack cutting the lead down to 8. 48-40. 6:10 remaining, closest it's been. Again, since the 12-0 lead at the beginning of the game for Apopka.
Some personnel changes here coming in for Apopka. Again, like I said, that's a signature of Scott Williams. He goes 10 deep on his bench, and he can have any combination of guys on there at the same time.
Yeah, and I think now he's trying to play the endurance and conditioning card, trying to rotate his guys in and out. Jones not nearly as deep. To the rack, that's Angerville. And it's
held ball, possession, Tigers.
So Jones' defense, despite the switching from Williams, Coach Williams coming up big, and now they got a chance to further decrease that lead. Again, 8 points, the smallest that's lead been since Apopka took the 12-0 lead at the beginning of the game. As Holmes goes to work against the double team, and just that quickly, Johnson swipes it away, but at the other end, the quick hands of Jones. Couldn't see which Jones player got his hands in there, but regardless of who, it stopped the fast break opportunity. Of course, now Apopka, see if they can score off that half-court set. Jones mounting a rally and making some impact emotionally in the feel of this game as well as tangibly on the scoreboard. 5.5 remaining, 48-40. Jones looking for some good defense. Johnson! Slam!
Michael Johnson
the
on the dunk.
the drive, the slam, and not only does that lead get back up to 10, but it does it with athleticism at the other end. Can't get the roll. That was Francis. Quick rebound for Apopka. They're off to the races. Johnson trying to get fancy with that behind-the-back pass. Looked good, but not the result you want. Jones not intimidated, and at least for the time being, they'll get a chance to take a breath and reset on defense, and it's going to be more than a second as we get a timeout. 50-40. It's not the smallest lead.
Full timeout called by the Tigers.
But certainly with 5 minutes remaining, Jones in a much more manageable position to rally and make this game competitive heading down the stretch. .505 remaining for Mustang Arena, the first of 4 games making up the 2024 Wekiva Mustangs men's basketball tip-off tournament. And Jones showing signs of life. They trail by as many as 19. Lead now down to 10 at 50-40. Apopka with possession though. That's Angerville, shakes off the would-be defender and makes the withdrawal from the bank. So what was an 8-point lead, the smallest of the game, since Apopka opened with a 12-0 run, is now up to 12, and here comes the turnovers again. 25 for Jones. The pass into the middle, Farrar back out to the corner to Gene. Drain the rain! And the lead up to 15, almost doubled from the 8, and we've seen that throughout the whole game. 3 times Jones got the double-digit lead down to 9. And they'll also have an opportunity, Apopka that is, to get up to 17 or even 18 following the turnover. It was underneath the basket. So 3 times they got it down to 9. They were able to get the third time they got it down to 9. They then got it down to 8. But all 4 times, Apopka's rattled off 3 consecutive possessions with points, and the lead's gone back up to mid-double digits.
Double dribble violation, Tigers ball.
4:10 remaining, exactly what Jones needed. So stick around. About 20 minutes after the conclusion of this game, the host school Wekiva. If you look out and you see that center court, you see the Mustang with the W. They'll be taking on the East River Falcons as the tray rattles in and out, skying for the rebound. Gene Apopka off to the races again. The bump, the grind, no dice. A good try by Bowden, but that does take time off the clock. 1 less possession for Jones to operate, as time is now their enemy, and time is getting short. At the top of the key, Cone, down left wing extended, just what the doctor ordered, the splash!
3 for Mac from bottom.
And that does cut the lead down to a dozen, 3.5 remaining. Jones needs a couple of defensive stops, needs to regain momentum with those defensive stops as well. And that is certainly not it.
Thank you very much, Jude Angerville from Raphael Betancourt.
The slash, the dash off the beautiful pass, and the lead back up to 14. The full court man-to-man continues to pressure Apopka as Bowden grabs that loose rebound.
And I like that. I like that energy, because he could have let that go out of bounds, but then that would have stopped the game and slowed the pace.
Just under 3 minutes now.
Fouls called against Tigers, number 0, Holmes. That's his second tonight, the team's first of this quarter. At the line, shooting for the Darters will be nobody because that was on the floor.
Okay, so non-shooting foul, and Apopka will take possession. And now, of course, if you're Apopka with that 14-point lead, you can also work the clock.
Johnson and Quintine back into the game for the Darters.
Again, this is preseason competition as Bowden spots up off the rim. On the trade at the other end, Jones with the emphatic
On to
answer.
Holmes for the Tiger dunk.
So that certainly will help Jones. Still a 12-point lead, though. They need some defensive stops. And Figaro, no dice.
I don't blame
Windex
Trent Jean for that.
Windex work from Bowden, cleaning that glass. And the clock will stop, but Apopka will
Foul is
get
called
free
against
throws.
Francis. That's his first personal foul, the team's second of this quarter. At the line shooting this time for the Darters will be number 2, Jai Bowden.
So Bowden with 6 points and make that 7. So again, we don't keep all the stats up here. It's just me and Mark. We don't have statistician. Welcome to high school coverage. But the eye test, I would say that Bowden, again, he now has 7 points, remains at 7, but his 7 points have been very valuable in terms of the timing. And there was another one, even though it was only 1 point, that did slow down Jones' momentum and their energy that they gained from the previous possession when they got that slam dunk on the fast break. So your score remains, or the deficit remains 13 points, 2:24 remaining as Bowden now will come out.
Larson Taylor and Alex Congdon into the game for the Darters.
And as we mentioned throughout this game, Coach Williams continues to rotate double digits. Not unusual. It's very rare if he does not have a bench, a rotation that goes at least 10 deep. And I certainly would say at this point, that rotation, just having that conditioning and that physical endurance has certainly played a role in maintaining this lead. It was 12 points at the beginning of the game. Apopka scoring first 12 points facilitated by 5 turnovers. They've gotten the lead to as many as 19. It's been between 10 and 15 for most of that game. Make that 15 again. Stop, pop, and drop.
Shot for Jermichael Johnson.
And again, Bowden has been very significant contribution-wise in terms of the timing of his points, but the majority of the points is certainly standing out. It's been the Johnson and Angerville show. The duo scoring 30 over 30. Speaking of Johnson, the pass down low to Taylor. He can't get it to go, but clock continues to drop. We're under 2 minutes now. Jones needs to score. They need to score quickly.
Now Taylor tips it to Trent Jean. He's got a man in the corner who is open, but no, they're going to go down the baseline instead. And it's going to go against Apopka. Player control foul is called against Larson Taylor. That's his third personal foul, the team's second of the quarter. Autumn took the charge. Tigers ball.
1:37 remaining, 15-point lead for Apopka. And certainly with that 15-point lead, you have some room to make that mistake to turn the ball over. But that was a prime opportunity to really take a step towards securing the victory. Jones needs to score. They need to score quickly. And it doesn't really look like they're in much of a hurry. Of course, Apopka's defense has something to do with that too. There's an errant shot. Doesn't catch rim. Johnson, as we mentioned, it's been him and Angerville standing out in terms of the point scoring and rebounding. And with 1:06, a whistle remaining.
It looks like we're getting a double foul is what the call seems to be. Double foul is called against Larson Taylor, his fourth, and Francis of the Tigers, his second. And that's the team's third of the quarter for each of them.
Back at the other way.
Transition dunk for Holmes.
There's what Jones needed, the quick deuce. Only a minute remaining now as they go to a full court man-to-man, or at least stay in it. And now if you're Apopka, you just need to take that clock off. Don't turn the ball over and give an easy basket. A little bit of luck there as Larson brings that ball down and makes the withdrawal from the bank. And I think that's just about going to do a 15-point lead with 35 seconds remaining. And so the quick recap, if you joined us late, if not, you know exactly what I'm going to say. It's the turnover. 5 turnovers in the first 3.5 minutes committed by Jones. Apopka's man-to-man defense. And we'll get back to that.
And one. Larson Taylor with the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. Foul is called against Tigers. Number 30, Stratton. That's his first personal foul, the team's 4th of this quarter. Larson Taylor shooting 1.
So 5 turnovers committed in the first 3.5 minutes. Apopka's defense stellar in that. They came out, showed exactly what Scott Williams preaches. And of course that facilitated the 12-0 run which began the game. Shooting around 75%. It'll be about 55 for the game.
Put back by Francis.
Apopka getting the lead to as many as 19 a couple of times, but the lead staying mainly between 10 and 15 points. 4 times Jones got the lead down to 9 or 8 points, and then a couple of turnovers. And Apopka takes game 1 of the 2024 Wekiva Mustangs men's basketball tournament, 64-59, an in-control victory from beginning to end. Mark, take us to the finish line.
That takes us to the end of game 1 here at the 2024 Men's Basketball Preseason Classic. 64-49, the Blue Darters with the victory over the Tigers in this first game. We'd like to thank everyone who came out to support your Mustang, Falcon, Blue Darter, and Tiger athletes. Mustang and Falcons fans, stick around. Blue Darters and Tigers fans, we of course invite you to stick around with us and watch the second game if you like, but if this concludes your visit with us today, then we hope we'll see you again on Thursday. Apopka plays against East River at 6 o'clock on Thursday. Wekiva plays against Jones at 7:30 on Thursday. Again, games 3 and 4 coming up on Thursday right here at Mustang Arena. Coming up next though, Wekiva versus East River. If you are watching us on YouTube or the NFHS network, we hope you will subscribe before you go. If you want to catch that next game, it is on its own separate live stream, and we will meet you there in about 15 minutes.